Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Yahowah Ezra bin Levi, aka Talmud Todd. Now I want to come to you out of the book of Bereshit, out of the book of Genesis, chapter 25. I will be reading from the King James Version of the Bible, and I will be reading Genesis chapter 26, verses 1 through 5. Genesis chapter 26, verses 1 through 5. Hallelujah. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, unto Gedar. And Yahowah appeared unto him, and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice, kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Hallelujah. Now, let me just ask a simple question. What do you find missing from verse 5 that Yahowah, that Yah, that the God of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, stated? What is absent from what he said of Abraham? I'm going to tell you now. He doesn't say anything about, most people think this, let me say it this way. Many people think this verse should read like this, or that it does read like this, because that Abraham believed in me. It doesn't say anything about Abraham's belief. It didn't say that Abraham had faith. But I can tell you now, everything in verse 5 makes up the faith of Abraham. All this was needed to show forth and to show and prove that Abraham was indeed a man of faith, a man that believed God. And that's why Yah was able to count it unto him for righteousness, because he knew that Abraham will follow him. He knew that Abraham will obey him, because Abraham showed that when Yah introduced himself to him, because he gave him a task. When he made himself known to Abraham, he immediately gave him an assignment. And that assignment was to leave your father's house, to leave the land of your father, and go to a place where I will show you. Not just simply say that Abraham believed that God spoke to him, and he immediately went back to Sarah and said, man, God made himself known to me. He spoke to me. It went beyond that. I'm pretty sure he probably told Sarah what was going on and said, I got to do this thing. We're packing up and we're leaving. He showed his faith by actions that reflect that which he believed from Yah. It wasn't just a mental assertion in the mind that, yeah, that's true about God, and that was it. It is a belief that produced an action, that produced a change, that produced let's say a chain reaction, so to speak. Now let's go to Genesis chapter 15. Let's look at verse 6. And it reads, and he believed in Yah, and he believed in Yahowah, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. Now we can see this right here. We have to understand and put everything in its proper context. What Abraham believed was the very promise that Yah gave him concerning that you yourself will produce a son from out of your own loins. He believed in what Yah said, but what made it easy for Abraham to believe Yah is that Yah has already made himself known to him. Yah have already established himself to be faithful to Abraham. So when Yah told Abraham that you will have a child, and he told him to, he took him outside. He said, count the stars if you can. He said that is how your seed will be. But this promise will come from the child, the male child that will come through him, birthed by Sarah, who was barren at the time. So we can see that what made Abraham righteous for this standpoint right here. But Abram was already a righteous man because he decided to believe in the one true living God, the one true creator. And he obeyed this God. He went where he told him to go. He did the things that he told him to do. So that is why we see that Abraham was righteous and that Abraham indeed was a man of faith. He was a man of action because his actions corresponded with that which he believed about Yah, who made himself known to him. Now, I want to read Genesis 26 and 5. As I said before, I'm coming from the King James Version of the Bible, and I'm going to read the first 5 verses, chapter 26, Genesis chapter 26, verses 1 through 5, but I'm mainly focusing is on verse 5 of the text. Hallelujah. And there was a famine in the land, and beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee, for unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swore unto Abraham thy father, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Key verse, verse 5. Because that Abraham believed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Now you notice it didn't say because Abraham believed in me. But I'm telling you that Abraham did believe in Yah. And these things that Yah listed is what made up the faith of Abraham, which made up the lifestyle of Abraham. Abraham's culture is found in verse 5, his mannerisms. Excuse me. It said, because that Abraham obeyed my voice, kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. And there lies the faith of our father Abraham. What does faith look like? Because Hebraically speaking, faith is an action. It is actions that correspond with what you believe. It's just like someone, now, it's just like if you looked at me right now and I said, I'm believing Yah for my healing because Yah has made himself known to be the healer. Now, you just watching me sit there, you don't know what I'm believing in my heart. Now I could be believing Yah is the healer and that Yah healed me. Now if I had a bad back and I say Yah is the healer and I believe that Yah healed me, eventually I will have corresponding actions that will line up with that which I believe, and I will immediately test my back. I will try to do something I couldn't do before because of the excruciating back pains that I had before I decided to trust Yah, before I decided to cling to that part of his resume where he said that he is a healer. Because if I just believe that he healed me and never test my back, would it really matter? But when I show I believe Yah with corresponding actions that other people can see, most of all, if other people know that you have a bad back or whatever experience you may be going through, and you tell them, I believe Yah, Yah's a healer, Yah's my way maker, and then you immediately do something to show them that you believe Yah. But you believe the instructions of Yah. Because just like this, let me go back to that example I was using, having the back pain. You pray to Yah concerning your back. You acknowledge him and you give him glory and honor for being the healer. And then Yah tells you, now bend over. Now reach up and do something you couldn't do before. Now if I still just sit there and say, Yah, I believe you, but I do not actively if I do not actively follow the instructions that Yah gave me, that my belief is not really as strong as it should be. If I do not actively obey the instructions that Yah give me. Because one thing about it, Yah tests his people. He gives them instructions to test where they are at and what they truly do believe. So if you believe Yah is your healer, and Yah tells you to do something that you couldn't do before because of the condition that you once suffered through, and then you do it, you are believing Yah, and it is accounted to you for righteousness because you believe Yah for one, and you show forth what you believe with corresponding actions that follow that which you believe about Yah. So I want to just make this, I just want to say this to you. Whatever you are believing Yah for, based off of our Constitution, based off of our history of Yah dealing with his people and even our own experiences with him, whatever you believe pertaining to Yah, based off the resume that he said of himself, believe him with all your heart, and then have corresponding actions that follow that which you believe. And if Yah give you instructions, follow them. I am not one of the Hebrews that believe. I know some Hebrew Israelites that do not believe Yah speaks anymore. I still believe Yah speaks because Yah does not change. He is the same. You can require of Yah yourself, and Yah can speak to you. He may not speak to you in the same way that he does everyone. It might not be an audible voice. It might be through a dream or through a vision, but Yah still speaks to his people that seek him. So what I am saying is, believe Yah. Be as our father Abraham. Believe Yah to where it is counted unto us as righteousness. And as what it says right here in Genesis chapter 26 and verse 5. Because that Abraham obeyed the voice of Yah. He kept the charge of Yah. He kept Yah's commandments, Yah's statutes, and Yah's law. We too can experience the promises that are written within this text because Yah promised this to the seed of Abraham. So This is all I wanted to say at this time. I went a little bit over than what I wanted to go, but it's all good. This is your brother, Yael Ezra Ben Levy, aka Tommy Kurtar. Shalom, love, and blessings.